let me start. I'm pressing the button to record the presentation in order to let other people who is not attending this this webinar to take a look later on. It starts now. So what we're gonna do now? This is the presentation, a webinar for all those speakers who is going to go to Russia to HolyJS. And in 20 minutes, we will cover following aspects of attending the conference. First of all, we will start from preparing to the travel to the conference. Then I'll highlight some major aspects of attending the conference during 2 days. We'll cover also what to do before the conference and days after the conference, and some takeaways from the conference in terms of, I don't know, experience, some videos, presentations, etc. And after all, we'll spend some time for your questions and answers, hopefully from our side. So let's go. First of all, you have already got a link to a special area which asks you with some fields about your talk, about your travel details, about some details about your hardware you're going to use on the conference. And that's very important for us to know in advance what to expect from your talk, because our technical crew will take this into account, and we will also take a look on your slides in order to ensure that your presentations will be shown correctly on our projectors. And if you like, we can share some feedbacks on the slides in terms of, I don't know, styles, fonts, etc. if you want. The deadline, I recommend you to put your version of your slides 2 days before the conference, because quite many people from our conference, they ask us to provide the slides after the conference, not before, but after the conference. So we will put them onto the website in the schedule section. Next, before the conference, I encourage you to work with the program committee tightly. Sometimes they ask some additional actions from you, like to correct some minor changes, some minor mistakes on slides if they got them. So please check your Slack chats regularly, or if you prefer to work to communicate through email, please check your mailbox regularly, and please don't hesitate to ask any questions and respond to any questions we have to you. For those of you who need some advices on how to organize your slides, on how to prepare your backpacks for the travel, how to prepare your presentation, I don't know, you can take a look on the memo for speakers. It's a kind of brief information about our personal experience of how prepare for the conference from our side. This is how the conference venue looks like. It's Radisson Hotel, and you have booked rooms at the same venue. So you literally don't need to change your clothes, to put a coat on to get to the venue from a hotel room. The address is on the screen. Next, St. Petersburg has only one airport nearby and one main railway station. It's about 30 minutes by car from the city center, the airport, I mean. And I personally don't recommend it to catch a taxi in the airport itself, because it's a kind of the price is a little bit less predictable than you could expect. So I recommend you to use some online services. If you hesitate on doing that, please ask ask Sonia to arrange you a taxi. Also, we prepared for you some SIM cards if you want. When you arrive to Russia, we'll give you some SIM cards, and obviously we reserve some rooms for you in the same hotel, so you're welcome there. The day before the conference, we usually do the city tour for our speakers, for our guests, so you can bring your warm clothes with you, because the weather in Russia, in St. Petersburg, is not that predictable as we could want. Uh, just a moment, I'll go out of the taxi and we'll continue in 30 minutes, 30 seconds. Sorry, just a moment. Okay, I'm back and I'm ready to continue. Sorry for this pause. So the day before the conference, we're gonna start the city tour, and I invite you to come to the hotel lobby 10 minutes before the the noon. We will meet each other, get familiar with each other, wave some hands, etc. And we're gonna go to the city center, and it's gonna be seated around the city. We will visit the city center, and we have some lunch scheduled for the day. And after the lunch, we're gonna go to some interesting place, and probably Sonia will uncover that secret a few minutes later. And by 6 p.m., we're gonna get back to the hotel to prepare for the next step of the social activity. The next social activity is the sound check, we call it, because you're gonna check all the hardware you have, all the slides you have the day before the conference. Our technical crew will be waiting for you in your room when you're gonna speak on the next day or the next day after on the second day of the conference. And we will have about 1 hour for checking every one of you. So bring your laptop, bring your presentation, and check everything. We will finally put a microphone on you. We'll ask you to slide your slides, etc. That's very important for us to prepare the technical environment, technical hardware for your presentations, and for additional hardware if you have something extra. The schedule. It's time to talk about the conference itself. The schedule is on the website. It's still in some preliminary version, but you can take a look on that and raise up any questions and give us your preferences about the day when you want to speak, the time, if you have any restrictions. For example, if you have a meeting with the customer here in St. Petersburg, on the second day, we can put your presentation, put your talk on the first day of the conference. So please speak up. you may find some special signs, some special marks, or again every talk, and that those means kind of complexity. Actually, it's not a complexity; it's a mixture of a complexity and how to explain it, a talent of explaining complex things in simple words. So we have some levels of complexities, like from smoothies up to hardcore one, and the last one is we call it the Molotov cocktail, which usually we mark with that usually some talks which could be controversial or may arise some questions, some I don't know, arguments, etc. The discussion zone. After the talk, every speaker will be not invited, uh, sorry, will be invited to a special area. We call it the discussion zone, where uh, everyone who is interested in talking to you will step by and ask you any questions they want about it. They might be questions about your talk, about your previous experience, about your uh, vision, about your technical advices, etc. So please use that social activity actively. And most of our speakers, they indicated that this activity was one of the most interesting and uh, mm, most useful for them during the conference, because they can reach the community directly. And finally, please be active, sleep well before the conference, and have fun. If you find some difficulty, experience some difficulties, some questions arose, you can reach our program coordinator, Tanya. Her contacts are on the screen. Either way, if you have some questions about your travel, some arrangement about the taxi, please reach Sofia. By other means, by other questions, you can reach me. I'm the program director of the Jacro group. After the first day of the conference, we will invite every attendee to a party. Some snacks and beverages are expected to be there. People usually hang out, they chat, they have fun, they play some games, they have boards, etc. So you are invited to be there as well, to be a part of the community here in St. Petersburg. On the second day of the conference, after the closing keynote, we are inviting you to go to after party. It's not going to be a party for all, and that's the party especially for speakers and for program committees and for some organizers who are about to talk about the past conferences, past conference, to make some summaries, etc. That's like a farewell party for all of us after the conference. You are invited. Okay, it's time to talk about departing from St. Petersburg. If you want, we can arrange a taxi for you as well from the hotel to an airport or a city center. Please reach Sofia to help. And after the conference ends, but some activities still continue. For example, we will ask all the participants to give us their feedback on the conference and for your talks in particular. So statistically, 80% of our attendees, they put some mark and give a feedback on the talks. So it's going to be very rich and very useful feedback for you as speakers, and one of the main tools to improve your talks. If in 2 weeks we will send you the feedbacks. If you didn't get that, please ping Tanya, and just after several days after the conference, we will share the video links with you in order to get some feedback on the video from you, and we will share some photos from the conference. Please don't ignore that possibility to get some nice photos from the conference, because our photographers, they work during all those two days of the conference for us. This is it, and I'm proud to be part of this great conference, and I'm looking forward to see you here in Russia, in St. Petersburg, in a month. So it's time to ask questions if you want. We are here to help you to understand all the details of your travel to HolyJS. Welcome. Okay. If you want to say something, please unmute. Hello.
For now, Andre, I will say thank you very much for the information. Here, Mauricio, by the way. Let me turn on the camera. Thanks for the info, but no questions so far. Looking forward to see you all.
Nice. Great. If you find yourself having a question, please don't hesitate to ask, to write us, to call us. We are available almost 24/7. So we are open for communication. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thanks all of you. And let me check the chat room. Rizikunen starting the city tour on 12 a.m. would be not less interesting. Yeah, sometimes we can organize you a city tour during the night. No problem. You know, we can find interesting things around the city as well during the night. Okay. Thanks for attending the conference, the webinar. I'll send the presentation as well as the webinar recording to all of you in 30 minutes, I believe. It needs some time to get translated to get uploaded. Thank you all, and see you here in Russia. Looking forward to meet you in person.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Awesome. See you soon. Thank you. Bye.